Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to VALORANT News, and what a day we've just had in terms of North American qualifiers for the Challengers at Stage 2. TSM versus 100 Thieves, what a series we had there. Certainly going to dive into the results of that one. Some major upsets on the day as well, and Sentinels just about getting through to the upper quarterfinals. Very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always, I'll greatly appreciate it. Really up to the channel, thank you very much indeed for doing that. Honestly, the growth towards 20k has been insane. Like, give us another month, we might even get there, right? Crazy scenes from you guys as of late, really appreciate it. Firstly though, from Giants Gaming, the kind of rumor we had a few days ago, okay, what are they going to do? Is there going to be a trade with Ascendant for killers? That gets confirmed. Killers joins Giants Gaming alongside the rest of these guys. Also, of course, that means Ascend have to confirm what their roster is going to be. Vac and Monster are the two guys building the team. So yes, they're rebuilding, they're going to try and conquer. Of course, some major situations have gone up with the Ascend team the last few months. Kind of crazy to think about that they only won champs not too long ago. I know they've made some major roster changes, but yes, this maybe will be key for them turning their season around once again. Wanted to talk about this as well as ValorLeaks points out yesterday. Some rumors right now that they're trying to test out some chamber nerfs on kind of the public beta environment that some people have access to play. Now, seemingly, they want to reduce the trademark charges down to 1 from 2. Kind of interesting in a way, because most people look at Chamber and say, well, is he really a Sentinel? Or is he basically just like kind of a duelist in Sentinel's clothing? And if you reduce the trademark, then maybe he's even less of a Sentinel than he already was, right? So it definitely is very interesting. I think there's probably some other things that I would prefer to see for Chamber. For example, like the slows on his AWP should probably be like last for less time. You could like also make the AWP like more expensive to get, I guess, in terms of ultimate points and stuff. Like that's an option. I think to me that would probably be the one that I would favor over this one, because like really the issues with it seem to be like the strength of the AWP, right, and the slows that it has and these type of things, and how mobile it is and how fast it fires, and the fact you get it for free, right? Like there's got to be some other ways to, I think, nerf Chamber that might not necessarily be this one. Like I don't necessarily disagree that Chamber might be too strong, but this, in my opinion, might not be the way to go. And yeah, he seems to agree. No, don't you dare, he says in the reply. So we'll see what they come up with, of course, just some ideas for the moment. But Chamber nerfs potentially in the works as well over these coming days. Let's dive in then to the VCT run that, a load of top teams had to do. As I say, I believe the Guard, Optic, XSET, and Cloud9, the top 4 teams from the Stage 1 in North America, they get to stay through to Stage 2, but 8 teams will qualify, first of all, through this open qualifier, and then the second open qualifier beginning on May the 5th. That's going to be the last chance for a lot of these teams. And 100 Thieves may well find themselves in that spot based on their result last night. I mean, winning in these early rounds is incredibly important. Version 1 did exactly that. Helped, of course, by Wardell, their substitute for now, because, of course, Wardell has been stepping in for Whippy these last few days. The question also does remain, is Whippy going to be there in time for the second qualifier that's going to come up relatively soon as well? But again, after losing game 1, Wardell comes up massive the final 2 maps of the game, and Complexity get taken down 2-1 here by Version 1. So impressive performance on Wardell. Like if he can keep this up, definitely gives them a very good chance to actually make it through and qualify, even though he's not their long-term plan for the team. They do want to bring Whippy back when he can get his visa and all this type of stuff sorted out. This also then from Ethan on the NRG side now. They're 4-0 for the day. He saw a clip from Soma a couple of days ago and said, look, there's no way we're losing a single map in this tournament. And yet, so far, they've moved on, right? So that's the thing. A lot of these teams, they got a bye through to the round of 32. 2 victories last night will take you all to the way to the quarterfinals, and just a couple more series from there, well, it will mean you qualify in top 4 position, and then you get through confirmed once again NRG for the major tournament. So I think I'm pretty confident that NRG will make it through. Didn't necessarily play some of the toughest competition though, because other teams most certainly did. Let's talk then about 100 Thieves. They played first up NYFU, the New York Fury, formerly kind of the Anbox organization and team. That's NYFU's kind of funny, but yeah, the Fury, I believe, is technically what they want to be known as. But yeah, 100T and Asuna, they take them down to 0 to set up a series with TSM. Could you believe it? Like 100 Thieves, TSM, definitely, 2 of the teams that have struggled the most, certainly so far, I guess, this year, in terms of putting together a great team. TSM have gone to Texas. They've really tried to make some moves. Like Wardell's gone, of course, Seven's come through. Would they have enough against 100 Thieves? After a tough game 1, they then turn around the series and make it happen in their favour. 100 Thieves game 1, they're up 9-3, looking really good for them on Split. They had a pretty tragic split, actually, and Derek was going huge. With the Sage here on Split, just had some great performances, and that's enough to get them a 2 versus 3 clutch. Derek goes massive, and 9-3 in their favour means that basically it looked like 100 Thieves were going to walk away with this one. Certainly not the case when we got to game 3 and then into game 3 as well. Remember, this was the game 2 when Tarek was kind of convinced, okay, yes, it's going to go game 3, because Sabrosa made a great play here on the Thrifty, just with the Sheriff in hand, gets 1, it gets 2, then makes an awesome play to move up even closer to kind of to the archway here, picks up a Phantom and gets the job done as well. So I mean, this shot was just fantastic. Uses the Omen smoke to get through, drops down, teammates help him out, and that's enough. This is a crucial round 100 Thieves to win. They lose it, and then TSM managed to close out the line. Then they go to a breeze where 100 Thieves got absolutely demolished demolished on the breeze. 13-2, I believe it was on the breeze. Like, that's the thing. They had to close out the ascent, and I'm not exactly sure what happened to them on breeze, right? Because they started on the defensive side, got completely bowled over, and yeah, not the greatest sign for 100 Thieves, really. Of course, TSM a good team, no doubt, but like, now they find themselves in the lower bracket. As Asuna says, 2-1 defeat to TSM. How long until the next roster change? And as Sabrosa says, 2-1 versus 100 Thieves. T-side's looking great. Some insane rounds out of everyone on the team where it needed to happen. So fair play to Sabrosa and the TSM guys. They move onwards. 100 Thieves down to the lower bracket though. And what that means is TSM play LG in the upper quarterfinals, and 100 Thieves play Moon Raccoons in the lower side. They will have to win 5 matches in a row to qualify for the group stage, right? So dropping down to losers at this point is not ideal. You've got to win a lot of series if you want to get top 4 at this tournament, which is going to be far from easy, of course. The overall stats look something like this. Just want to show this on screen rather briefly. I think there was one map where here it is right here, like Derek will bang Asuna and Stella on the game 1. It's a fantastic stuff. But after a 13-3 split, the ascent goes narrowly in TSM's favour, 13-11, and then Breeze 13-2, right? It's a very impressive out of TSM to turn it around like this. It's a very impressive first kill stats actually from 7 as well, 11-4. Thought that was pretty special on the chamber. Sentinels, though, also in action last night. This is kind of their Halo teaser promo type thing, but of course it kind of works as well for the Valorant side as well. They win both their games last night. The second game against a crew was, rather interesting, let's just say, just because a crew, of course, they had KenPeki on the team not long ago. Now KenPeki's over, of course, at their squads, and arguably KenPeki can say they like to do this, they like to do that, and give them some advantage in the series. And TenZ was obviously very hot on him coming into the team anyway. He had an awful lot of assists as well in yesterday's series, but it was really TenZ and ShahZaM that did the heavy lifting in terms of the slaying. As TenZ points out, one's qualifier games today, round of 32, round of 16. GG's to the teams we played. More matches, of course, coming up later on today. And as ShahZaM says, admitting that the composition they had on the split was absolutely terrible. We'll see that there in a second. 1-2-1, don't worry. I agree, the split comp was all troll. That is a big question, actually, really, about the Sentinels squads. Like, they said that they had a coach in the works, or they had a coach planned they were going to bring through. Like, of course, we've seen a lot of the players on Optic, for example, praise Chet very heavily for what he did, the amount of work he put in, to watching VOD and coming up with strats and coming up with cringe compositions with Neon and all this type of stuff. Sentinels might need a guy like that, because it seems like as soon as Sean Gares went to 100 Thieves and went out of the picture, Sentinels just don't have a good replacement for their coaching staff. So with them, Raucus not there any longer. So really interesting situation. But this is the composition they come up with on split. There's no initiators here. I don't know what they're thinking. They've got the double duelist in Raze and Jet. They've got a smoke guy in Sick. Then the KenPeki's on the Sage and dapr's on the Chamber. Like, there's no initiators. There's no Sova. There's no KO. There's no, KO's particularly good on this map as well. There's no Sky. There's nothing. I don't know what they were thinking here. So, it didn't work out for them at all. But they do just about win the series. And TenZ goes 51 in 47. But look at these first kill stats. 17 first bloods. Plus 12. That's just pretty absurd. That was pretty crucial, actually, for them. And Gut goes 0 and 7 in first bloods. Unlucky stuff. But yeah, split 13-5 in favour of a crew. They bounce back, though, 13-7, 13-10. Not comfortable by any means for the Sentinels. But they do just about get the job done. Speaking of some of the teams that lost in the tournament, though, T1, they go down to Knights. Of course, I guess this is to be expected in fairness, given the Knights were a team last time out in the the upper side. They were in stage 1 challenges, I believe, over in Group B. T1 lose them 2-1, of course. It was kind of interesting what's really going on with T1, because they had 7 not long ago. He was on 100 Thieves bench for a time. 100 Thieves seemed to say, okay, he's not ready for our starting team. He goes to T1 briefly. They don't really get the best out of him. Now he's gone to TSM, and all of a sudden looks very comfortable indeed, right? So yes, T1 lose to Knights. Not ideal for them. As I say, the lower bracket is going to be an absolute gauntlet right here, and that's the thing. Already 100 Thieves have to win 5 series to qualify. But you look at this bracket, then none of these are going to be easy games, to be honest, for them, right? Especially because it's online. There's so many variables. It's such a tough bracket situation, right? That's probably why some of these teams are looking forward to 100 Thieves. Maybe, for example, next year's rumored partnered situation, kind of pseudo franchising, as we discussed yesterday, that they may just be able to guarantee their spot effectively rather than having to deal with this stuff. Whether that's good or it's bad for the scene, that's another question entirely. Now, JC Starley says over at Gen.G now, GG's to Cloud9 White. They I think Cloud9 White lost their first series and lost their second one as well, relatively comfortably. But he had some nice word to say for Mel, a very much a hyped up player on that team. He says, I really feel like she can be on a top North American squad. When I tried her out for KCP when first building the roster, I thought she had really good comms, good mechanics, great mind for the game. She could easily have been on that team, right? So I'd love to see if that could even happen at some point. Mel actually join a tier 2 team almost that isn't the Cloud9 White female roster, and see how she gets on from there. But great words, positive words here from JC Starley after they knocked Cloud9 White down to losers, where they went on to play Girl Kisses, can you believe it, and then got knocked out of the tournament. But this also, Ghost Gaming, this is really one of the key stories. Ghost are one of the key favourites actually to qualify here all the way through. I believe Royals here of Basilisk Gaming, they took them down 2-0, and Ghost went on to get double first rounded in their next series as well to Dark Zero. So it as Ghost Nismo points out, after the, out of the VCT already, not to give any reasons though, but after getting our Airbnb robbed apparently and ended up getting sleep at 9 AM, definitely didn't help our performance, right? So clearly some really difficult issues they've been through the last couple of days. Hope everything works out for them, but that's the thing, they're going to have to go through again to the second open qualifier, and that makes things very spicy indeed, right? Because let's say Sentinels or 100 Thieves or TSM or some of these big teams don't make it through this time around, then Ghost are going to be there again, maybe performing better than they of course did this time, right? So difficult to say. I'm pretty sure this happened maybe at the start of last stage in Europe when I think it was G2 with Mixwell failed to qualify in a similar manner. They then didn't get the bye second time around, had to start from scratch. They brought in Keylocks instead of Mixwell, and then they made the run. So maybe Ghost can do a similar thing this time around, but more than likely they won't make any moves. Let's see this then. So this is the bracket as it looks right now. Make sure this is fully on screen. Version 1 versus Evil Geniuses. So these are the big games. The quarterfinals in the upper side. Version 1 EG, Knights versus NRG, Luminosity TSM, and Sentinels versus FaZe Clan. A very good looking FaZe Clan as of late as well. Of course, kind of the old Rise team effectively is what they have picked up. These teams have to win 2 more games. They have to win this one and then the upper semi-finals if they want to qualify for this seeding right here. So impressive stuff. At version 1, maybe NRG, I would probably take as favourites here. LG TSM is really nice. I don't know how to call that one. Sentinels versus FaZe Clan, also really tough. Maybe I'll just take Sentinels, but it's really tough one to call. Then the losers bracket is an absolute gauntlet, as you might well expect. So there's obviously many names down here already, but 100 Thieves, they play Moon Raccoons. If they beat that, they may well play Gen.G or maybe play Sonics. T1 are going to have a really tough time to make this run against NYFU, and the other teams, they might play Girl Kisses, etc. Complexity are down here as well, so it's so tough, and they have to win so many games, right? 100 Thieves, you look at them right now, they play Moon Raccoons. If they win that, they play this, they play this, they play this, and then if they keep going all the way, then look how many series they have to play. They go all the way from losers round 2 right now to losers round 6, and then they qualify. So it's going to be really tough. 2 qualify from losers, 2 qualify from winners, and then we'll kind of see how that goes later on today. So very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit on the like button. Tells you YouTube gods, this is a good video. Others like you should see it as well, and help grow the competitive Valorant community. Thank you much as always. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time.